They watched the radar flicker, then buried it in smoke and silence within 8 seconds.
Just snapped inside Russia's war machine. Not on the front line, not inside Ukraine, but deep inside Russian territory. In under 1 minute, a military asset Moscow depends on projecting power went blind, silent, and unusable. No warning, no interception, no effective response. This wasn't a lucky hit. This wasn't a one-off strike. This was a system failure, and it exposed something Putin can't easily fix. At 6:33 a.m., Shikovo Airfield still shimmered under amber runway lights. Early morning mist clung to the concrete. Radar domes rotated calmly. Bombers sat fueled, crews confident, command screens glowing green. To Moscow, this base was secure, buried inside layers of air defense, electronic warfare, and distance from the battlefield. Ukraine saw it differently. Without warning, Neptune R-360 cruise missiles, each worth nearly $500,000, screamed low over the tree line, flying beneath conventional radar coverage. Their paths were quietly refined by MiG-29 targeting feeds, stitched together with drone-based reconnaissance. Seconds later, the sky fractured again. Kamikaze drones, some costing less than $20,000, surged forward in dense, overlapping waves. Behind them came the third layer. From long range, Dana M2 self-propelled howitzers fired $130,000 precision shells, landing directly on radar nodes, fuel zones, and logistics corridors. This wasn't an air raid, it was a saturation system kill. Within moments, an S-400 launcher valued at over $150 million erupted in flame. Shockwaves rippled across the runway. Antenna arrays twisted. Concrete split. The airfield didn't just take damage, it lost coherence. Modern warfare wasn't arriving with massed troops. It arrived with timing, synchronization, and information dominance. As smoke from the first wave curled upward, Russian radar operators scrambled. Their displays filled with false returns, thermal decoys, and overlapping sensor noise. Real targets dissolved into static. Then came the second phase, quieter, more dangerous. A low, invisible fog spread across the base. Not weather, electromagnetic interference. Ukraine had deployed Panther-class ground robots and Spectre M2 UAVs, each loaded with $25,000 jamming modules and heat signature dates. These systems didn't fire, they blinded. Frequencies collapsed, data links choked, command latency spiked beyond usability. A Boris Glebsk II electronic warfare vehicle worth nearly $25 million attempted to reassert control. Its systems surged, then flatlined. For 22 seconds, Shikovo's secondary command post went completely dark. No radar, no communications, no satellite uplink. In modern combat, 22 seconds is an eternity. 20 miles away, NASAM's air defense batteries, each valued at over $100 million, stood ready to intercept any Russian retaliation. None came. Su-34s and two 160 bombers remained grounded, pilots blind, guidance data frozen, command authority fragmented. Ukraine wasn't just striking equipment, it was removing Russia's ability to respond. Below the drone layer, Spectre units painted laser designators across hardened targets, fuel farms, radar arrays, command bunkers. Overhead, encrypted data streams fused everything into a single real-time battlefield picture. Ukraine wasn't attacking with weapons alone. It was attacking with information denial, sensor overload, and tempo control. No single explosion defined the damage. The destruction came in silence, in flickering screens, in frozen crews staring at blank monitors. Shkovo hadn't merely been breached, it was being digitally suffocated, one signal at a time. Inside Russian command channels, confusion spread. Backup systems failed to handshake. Manual procedures lagged behind a battlefield, moving faster than human reaction time. Officers argued over dead links, while automated systems waited for data that never arrived. And while Moscow still believed this could be contained, Ukraine was already watching. Because breaking a base isn't about holding ground, it's about forcing the enemy to move. And the moment Russia finally tried to push back, the next phase was already locked, armed, and waiting. The moment Russia tried to regain control, everything collapsed faster. From the shattered shelters on the far edge of Shkovo airfield, engines ignited in panic. Two Su-34 fullback bombers, each worth over $50 million, lurched onto the runway, armed with Kh-55 air-launched cruise missiles, priced near $1 million apiece. Their crews were flying half-blind, relying on fragmented data and instinct. This was Moscow's first real attempt to retaliate. Ukraine was already waiting. Above the low cloud layer, MiG-29 fighters vectored in earlier using fused surface radar, drone-mounted infrared feeds, and AI target correlation held position. The moment the Su-34s climbed past 3,000 feet, the sky snapped alive. Laser locks flared, flares burst. The air turned into a high-speed chessboard. One Su-34 managed to release two Kh-55s toward a western valley. It didn't matter. NASAM's interceptors, each costing over $400,000, sliced upward and destroyed all four missiles mid-flight. Clean, precise, no debris reached the ground. The second bomber broke hard to escape. That's when a Ukrainian manpads team, concealed in a forward camouflaged position, fired a Stinger missile, a $70,000 weapon with devastating efficiency. The impact shredded the bomber's left engine. Smoke poured from the fuselage as it veered off course and vanished beyond the tree line. Russia's counterstrike had lasted less than 5 minutes. Shkovo's airspace, once a launch hub for long-range strikes, was now a no-fly zone. For the first time in this war, Ukraine had seized localized air superiority deep inside Russia's defensive ring. The shift wasn't just tactical, it was psychological. With Russian air cover neutralized, Ukraine immediately changed tempo. This was the moment armor moved. Across fractured service roads, PT-91 main battle tanks advanced in a dispersed grid, maintaining wide spacing to minimize artillery exposure. Mechanized infantry dismounted and flowed through tree lines and maintenance corridors, drones circling overhead to feed real-time targeting data. Their objective was simple: break the outer perimeter before Russia could reorganize. From inside the base, T-80 BVM tanks rolled out from hardened shelters, firing 125mm high-explosive rounds across the south approach. The blasts tore into the tarmac, throwing concrete and dust into the air. The response came instantly. From more than 15 miles away, Dana M2 howitzers delivered synchronized 155mm cluster munitions, timed perfectly with drone-verified coordinates. Sub-munitions rained down across Russian firing positions. One T-80 halted mid-rotation, smoke pouring from its rear. Another tried to reverse and failed. A Spectre M2 drone, preloaded with a heat-seeking warhead, dove through the exhaust haze and slammed into a rear ammunition trailer. The resulting detonation sent fire and debris over 100 feet into the air. Russia's rear support node vanished in seconds. As Russian crews attempted to fall back toward the aircraft parking zone, a PT-91 autoloader fired a tungsten round that snapped a tank track clean off. The hull slid sideways and stopped cold. Turret moving, mobility gone. By 5:52, Ukrainian armor had carved a 600-foot breach, exposing Shkovo's inner logistics yard. Smoke swallowed the skyline. The outer shell of the airfield was collapsing fast. But Ukraine wasn't here to occupy ground. It was here to remove the nerve center. Beneath layers of reinforced concrete sat Shkovo's data and command hub, housing real-time radar feeds, two 160 sortie coordination systems, and encrypted links to Russia's long-range bomber network. Disabling this wouldn't just silence this base, it would blind a strategic aviation sector. The approach wasn't loud, it came by swarm. Small electronic attack drones, each packed with RF jamming pods and localized EMP coils, flooded.
The area signals crashed, backup routers overloaded, internal networks flickered, then died. Before recovery protocols could load, a single Neptune R-360 punched through the roof, burrowing deep before detonating. The blast incinerated servers, storage arrays, and radar archives within a half-mile radius. The structure tilted, then folded inward in a shower of sparks. Every command line went silent. Shkovo wasn't damaged anymore. It was strategically paralyzed. If this breakdown of modern warfare helped you understand how battles are really being fought, like, subscribe, share, and tell us in the comments, did air power just lose its advantage to drones and data? Ukraine never occupied the base. It didn't need to. In under an hour, radar arrays, command systems, and bomber coordination were erased from the network. Russia's launch window slammed shut. Kh-55 sorties were grounded. Remaining bombers were forced to reroute hundreds of miles away. Something big had broken, and for the first time, Putin couldn't stop it.